Hello, my name is Mark Baldwin and I was part of Group 1. We did a recommendation report for an administrative account creation tool. The purpose of this recommendation report is to address the recent increase of student technicians incorrectly creating local admin accounts when assisting users at the BYU Idaho IT Help Desk and recommend the best solution possible to solve this problem. Improperly set up local admin accounts that have incorrect settings can have problems that range anywhere from outright forgetting to create the account, creating the account with the wrong credentials, or even forgetting to add the account to the local administrators group and then forgetting to delete the account after work has been completed on the student's computer. Incorrect account creation causes an issue where we need to contact the user and wait for them to come back and set it up correctly. Incorrect account setup causes a headache for both the IT department and the user, as well as adding costs to the school by using more resources than necessary. Our goal is to create a recommendation that will allow the account holder to create a local account correctly and to move the account to the administrator group. This will provide the user with an account that is set up with proper credentials and roles, allowing them to do the work necessary to repair the student's computer. Our criteria include features to remove the account, update the passwords if it's currently wrong, automatically remove the account after a certain amount of inactivity, and be fast and simple. The main focus of the solution is to be able to execute the necessary criteria. However, it would be desirable that it is easy to use and works in a timely manner. The scope of our report will cover the methods of looking through each solution we have created. We will analyze each one against our necessary and desirable criteria mentioned previously. Each solution will include a timeline and a budget. With this analysis, we will discuss the pros and cons of each one. Recommendation number 1, create a simple exe program that will open into a PowerShell script and prompt the user to 1. Create a local admin account with a preset username and password. If 1 is pressed, again, it will update the account password to verify accuracy. 2. Delete the account created. It will be created in PowerShell ISE. The pros of this recommendation are that it is extremely easy to execute and create the account. The cons are that it is hard to have the exe file certified by a publisher, meaning that it is unsigned, and some students may not want an unsigned exe ran on their computer. We feel that this con isn't very powerful and won't be a common problem, though this could be added later if desired. Recommendation 2. Create a PowerShell script that will prompt the user to 1. Create a local admin account with a preset username and password. If 1 is pressed again, it will update the account password and verify accuracy. 2. Delete the created account. It will be created in PowerShell ISE. The pros of this recommendation are it allows for easy modification to the future code, as well as the ability to see the code before running it, guaranteeing there is no malware embedded. The cons of this recommendation are that it requires the user to open PowerShell and locate the file, then run it, taking more time than recommendation 1 would. Recommendation number 3, create a simple exe program that will open into a PowerShell script and automatically create the account. It will then expire after 1 week of inactivity. The pros of this are that the account will be created without much or any user input. The cons are that there is no interface for the user to cancel or alter settings, possibly leading to mistakenly created accounts or other issues due to automation. Testing and analysis. Expert analysis. Eric Weatherford, a systems administrator that specializes in systems automation and security for a company called UnitX, went over our recommendations for our expert analysis. And he stated, quote, "Recommendation 1 is better than 2 because it stops the code from being viewed as easily, preventing people from simply learning the password or going as far as to inject their own malicious code into it. Recommendation 3 is also easy to execute, but you run into an issue of knowing what the code will do upon execution. Technicians could easily forget that they had already created the account and deleted it. I would personally use recommendation number 1. For our experiments, we interviewed users and had them answer questions about each recommendation. From these answers, we were able to gain valuable insight into the user's understanding of the recommendations. We picked these interviewees as they are team leads for the teams we are creating the recommendation for, and they are both highly skilled in the IT field, allowing them to fully understand the pros and cons of each recommendation. To view the full test results, you can follow the link here on the screen. Rank number 1, recommendation number 1. This is the best answer to solving the problem because it is somewhere between both recommendation 2 and 3. It still makes sure that the issue is resolved quickly and easily, while still giving opportunity to the user to make a choice. The pros of this recommendation are that it is extremely easy to execute and create the account. The cons are that it is hard to have the exe file certified by a publisher, meaning that it is unsigned, and some students may not want an unsigned exe ran on their computer. We feel that this con isn't very powerful and won't be a common problem though. The timeline and budget would be an hour of work and a budget of $0 due to this being a school project. Rank 2, recommendation number 3. We felt that this recommendation was a great option because it received the most points in our interviews and was extremely easy to utilize, but we also recognized that it had some serious problems with the security and assurance to the user that the script worked correctly. The pros of this are that the account will be created without much user input. The cons are that there is no interface for the user to cancel, possibly leading to mistakenly created accounts and other costly mistakes. The timeline and budget would be an hour of work to write the code and a budget of $0 also due to this being a school project. Finally, we rank number 3 as recommendation number 2. We feel that this recommendation is the least effective of the 3 because it requires much more work than necessary to execute, leaving it to be much less effective than the other solutions. The pros of this recommendation are that it allows for easy modification to the code in the future. The cons of this recommendation are that it requires the user to open PowerShell and locate the file and then run it, taking more time than recommendation 1 would, while also making it possibly easy to view and therefore easy to hack. The timeline and budget would be an hour of work in code and $0 also because this once again is a school project. After doing our testing and research, we have decided that our first recommendation is best. This will provide the easiest and simplest solution. It has very few cons, the only one being the security issue with the exe file not having it certified by an outside company, but this is also able to be remedied if the IT department decides that they wish to do that at some point. And the coding costs and timelines and things like that to implement it are also short. I thank you for your time in watching this presentation, and goodbye.